In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad. Why our country could not develop during the past 75 years, that is something to be debated upon. We are found, celebrating the Independence Day on every 14th of August. Dear friends, it is okay, keep celebrating it. But at the same time, we need to think why, after all, why we are unable to develop, to progress, to prosper, why the general public in Pakistan is not comfortable, is not secure, is not happy. We need to think, we need to ponder upon it. The people are found saying, those people who disagree with this statement of mine are found saying that we were having nothing. The generation which made Pakistan was not having anything else. But today we have a lot. Yes, 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 we do have a lot. As compared to those people who founded Pakistan, dear friends. But what is our ranking? What is our ranking in the community of the nations? And what was our ranking at that time? If at all our ranking has improved, this means that we need to celebrate. Even if at all we are at the same place, I think still it is okay. If our rank in the community of the nations is the same one, I think still it's okay to celebrate. But if at all it has deteriorated, and if it has deteriorated a lot, this means that we need to rethink. Dear friends, what is wrong, unfortunately, with our society, with our country? Why we are unable to develop, to prosper, to become what we should have become, to feel safe, secure, and comfortable? Dear friends, what is wrong with us? People will be found saying several technical things. I'm not going to delve into that sort of, technical debate. I just want to say one thing, and this one thing does matter a lot, my dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad. That one thing is the rule of law. The rule of law. Unfortunately, here in Pakistan, there is no rule of law. There is not a uniform application of law on its citizens. Unfortunately, even the laws are discriminatory. Even there is a discrimination in the law, dear friend. But apart from the law, apart from the rules, on the one hand, the law and the rules are not so good. But at the same time, even as for the present laws and the rules are concerned, if these are implemented and practiced without any sort of discrimination, I think still we will start improving with a reasonably good speed, my dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad. What is the reason? The reason is the same, the one which we are talking about. I'm not going to take any sort of technical discussion and debate because that's my beyond my reach. I'm not a technocrat. I am not qualified to conduct any sort of debate like that one. But dear friends, I do know one thing. All the nations who have developed and all the nations who are developing, they do have at least one thing in common. That thing in common is that they do have a rule of law. There is no discrimination as far the application of the law is concerned. Whether somebody is weak, whether somebody is having a lesser resources or somebody is having more resources, whether somebody is a commoner, does not have any sort of influence, while another person, the person in conflict with this commoner, is a very influential person, is a very resourceful person. Despite all that, the government is not going to, the law, the courts in the country does not discriminate, does not discriminate at all, my dear friends and fellows in Pakistan, between the rich and the poor. Rather, they do look upon who is right and who is wrong. They do support the one who is right and they do discourage the one who is wrong. I remember a kind of incident which took place during the Second World War. Once the World War was ended, somebody asked the British Prime Minister at that time, Sir Winston Churchill, that once your country is destroyed absolutely, now do you think that you will be able to regain the glory again? You will be able to regain the glory of the past? He replied, if at all our courts are found delivering the justice without any sort of discrimination, then we will be able to regain that glory and we will regain with absolute certainty, dear friends. And the same thing happened. The country remained a very small colony, a very small island, because my dear friends, all their colonies have got the independence, but despite that, that very small nation, that very small country has developed and developed a lot. They don't even, they didn't even accept it. They didn't even accept you know the membership of the European Union. They didn't become a Euro country. They didn't become a member of. They didn't remain. They rather left the European Union as well, because they think that they are far ahead of the rest of the European Union. So neither we are going to be a part of the European Union, nor we are going to have the euro as a currency in their country. So they are developing and they have developed a lot, dear friends. Now I remember another thing which is very important, very important, very important. Second caliph out of the four righteous caliphs, it was Sayyidina Umar bin al-Khattab, and a famine did occur in the Arabian Peninsula, and the news reached everywhere, spread everywhere else in the world, because the world was expecting their invasion and were fearful that their country will be conquered. And because Sayyidina Umar bin al-Khattab was going to dominate the whole of the world, the half of the world. The news reached in the palace of the Rome, and the king was told that there is a famine in the Medina. So you don't need to be afraid now, because they people are in great trouble. Now that Roman king asked whether there is a justice still in the society. The newsbreaker told yes, still there is an absolute justice in the society. So replied the king of the Rome, then they don't have to fear. They will keep expanding. They will keep expanding and they will succeed in conquering so many the country, maybe including that of our. And the same thing happened. The two superpowers at the same time were conquered by Sayyidina Umar bin al-Khattab. Now, if at all we look on the world today, there is a neighboring country, Afghanistan. If you go travel to Afghanistan, you will find that there is a rule of law there, that a commoner in that particular country, Afghanistan, where the departments, where the institutions are not developed at all, where there are very, very meager resources in that particular country, but still a commoner in Afghanistan does feel quite safe and secure. Why? Because there is rule of law in that particular country, and they don't discriminate at all between the rich and the poor. They don't discriminate at all between the one with the no influence, who is a commoner, and between the one who is a very influential. So the rules are the same for each and everyone else, and the application of the rules are the same for each and everyone else at the same time, my dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad. That is what we need to understand. That is what we need to learn from. If at all we can't learn from the rest of the world, at least we can learn from our neighboring country, Afghanistan. As for the resources are concerned, as for the expenses, the expenditure of the government is concerned, maybe what their government is spending, what their government employs, judiciary, military, and the civil bureau, civil employees, if at all, that they are elected, they represent their rulers. If at all we combine their resources, their expenditure versus that of our expenditure, I think maybe we are spending 1,000 times more than what the people are found spending upon their government. But as for the efficacy of the government is concerned, they are 100 times better as compared to that of the efficacy of the Pakistani state. That is what we need to understand, my dear friends and fellows in Pakistan. If at all we succeed in bringing one thing and only one thing in the country, that one thing in the country is the rule of law, the justice system in the country. I believe that we will be able to develop, and we will be able to develop at a faster, at a rapid speed. That is rapid pace. That is what we need to understand. Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair.